Hey there, how's it going? My name is Lookouts and welcome to this video on Last Epoch. Last off we left it, we finished the campaign and now it's time to take on the Monoliths of Fates. We're going to be taking on the first one, which is the Fall of the Outcasts. Essentially, this Monolith is focused mainly on necrotic damage, so it's lucky that we are way overcapped. Doesn't matter if we're overcapped. We are capped for necrotic resistance. I mean, we shouldn't get on too bad with this Monolith. But we're going to be storing up all the Echo rewards, and at the end of the video, we'll be going through all the Echo rewards we got from doing the entire Monolith to see what we were getting from it. Anyway, let's go ahead. Talk to Agony here, Monolith Fake, goodbye. And let's go ahead into the first Monolith here. See what rewards we be getting from this. And seeing how we managed to get on. Basically, we are a Warlock character using Ghost Flames, focusing mainly on Ignite and Damn Chance. We got Chaos Balls, also focusing on Ignite and Damn Chance. We're stacking a lot of debuffs. We're also dealing more damage to debuffed enemies, as well as casting Rip Blood on our Intelligence, as well as Bone Curse here. We've got 33 Intelligence, meaning it casts 33% of the time, so 1 in every 3 hits. We've also got CHTHONIC FISSURE, being like a machine gun with spirit frequency increases, as well as shooting out Chaos Balls, which in turn shoots Rip Blood and all this stuff. Got Transplant, this is our defensive skill and our movement skill. Mainly focusing on gives bone armor, getting some mana back. Then we got Spirit Plague in as a curse that deals additional damage, as well as increasing our damage. I'm going to run through our passives very quickly. This is our passive tree here for our Acolyte, and our passive tree here for our Warlock, mainly focusing on element overloads, as well as damage over time and ward gain, basically. Let's go ahead and start the Fall of the Outcasts. Which rewards should we be focusing on? Generally, I'd like to focus more on XP, because right now our character is only level 56. So I will be focusing mainly on the XP here. Let's go into the Ritual Lake. I'm going to be storing up all the Echo rewards, but not the items that drop in the map itself. We got to take these items. Should have just did this here. I was kind of forgetting it. Just going to ignore those rare items. For now, we don't. Well, our items are not great, to be honest. We could do with some upgrades, but I need to set up an item filter. But I also need a proper build direction. Right now, our build is generally testing out the skills here for the Warlock still, even though we're at the Monolith phase right now. But once we get a proper build direction, we'll be setting up the item filter. That's a mage. Sorry for the pause here, but this is where the audio file got corrupted. So now we'll be switching over to commentary over the video recording. But before we return to the gameplay, just a quick reminder that if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe or a comment. Now let's get back to the video. As I was saying, our items weren't too great, but we're not going to be focusing too much on the items that the enemies drop. We're mainly focusing on getting the Echo rewards. And basically, the way we're going to move throughout the Echoes here is to kind of just... We struggled a bit getting that train. Move through the Echoes as fast as possible, not building up that stability, not taking out the whole map, just getting to the objective, completing the objective and getting out and checking the Echo rewards. While still taking out all the enemies along the way. Because that is the majority of the fun of the game. And we're here, we're absolutely slayed the Bone Furnace, the boss of this map. Always remember to pick up the shards, they're always fantastic for crafting. We're going to transform in. We're going to leave this idol behind because it's basically useless for our character. And we're going to travel back. Complete the quest. Go and check the rewards. pick up all these glyphs, check the rewards here, and we're just having a look at the items here, but not great for us. We're not going to include the items in chest. Here, we're just going to include the Echo rewards. So, we have a stash tab here first, and we're going to move all these into this and have a look here towards the end and see what rewards we get for doing the full Monolith. The Fall of the Outcasts Monolith. As I said, we are primarily focusing on experience because leveling can be quite a grind, to be honest. And we want to see how much levels we gain from focusing XP. Also want to see the rewards we get if we just focus XP as well. Kind of interesting to see here. We begin our second map. Our objective is to slay enemies to locate Ash Gate and seal the Ash Gate after we do that. Our build right now isn't too bad actually. It has some tankiness. It could be tankier, but still pretty decent at tankiness. Damage wise also pretty decent. Is there better builds? Definitely. Is there worse builds? More than likely. But it's pretty decent for now. Once we have a build direction, we will wholeheartedly focus on that build direction. As right now, we're just kind of focusing on dealing damage over time and getting ailment overloads, which has been a lot of fun so far. I've been enjoying this character and learning this character. We're again just moving towards... Actually, we turned around here to have a look at this idol here. It is ward on hit and fire damage, so we're going to take it. Because we would like the ward on hit, to be honest. Well, when we get hit, not when we do hits. As well as the fire damage, because half our damage output is basically fire damage. So we do necrotic and ignite chance. So we got to the Ash Gate. Once we start this objective, it just spawns enemies over and over again until we take them all out. We took quite a bit of damage there, but we also have a way to regen health as well as just not ward, giving that extra bit of sustain. It's kind of the safety sustain, but you say we got stunned there and took a lot of damage. We could benefit from stun avoidance, to be honest, or also just not getting in close, but our build kind of gravitates towards being in close. We got some shards here. Always make sure to grab them. We're going to save the idol. And we're going to make sure to grab this shrine up top because it could be like it is here, dropping rare items. Or it could be gold, or it could be idols. Or it could be increased experience. And to be honest, we're not even going to really look at the rewards from that shrine. We're not focused on the rare items. If we got a set item here. Isidore's Tomb Binding, which we're going to be using and hopefully trying to find more of this set. We've got Cinder Song here, giving us +1 to all fire spells, which are our 3 spells down below, which is Ghost Flame, Chaos Pulse, and CHTHONIC FISSURE. We also get this unique, which gives us Poison on hit. This also, Cinder Song also gives us mana cost down on our spells, which is pretty awesome. This gives us Poison hit on spell, which is basically just for Chaos Bolt. It doesn't work with Ghost Flames, but it also kind of works for CHTHONIC FISSURE since CHTHONIC FISSURE shoots out Chaos Bolt. Our items are pretty much hot garbage, apart from resistances on it. And that's about it. Just sorting out our idol situation here. And we're going to throw that in, and then we're going to check the rewards. Basically the experience. And it was awesome. It gave us a level up. It didn't give us too much experience, but it gave us enough to level up here. I'm going to have a quick look at these items. Not great. And now we're just going to do our level up here. And we're going to focus on getting more spell damage per curse on that final passive point there. We've got idols here, we've got XP, and we're going to keep going towards the XP. Onward to the snowbound city. In this timeline, we have to go and destroy 2 bone spires. The bone spires, you see the red circles? They continuously shoot these projectiles at you, or these area of effects, that deal massive damage to you. We gotta make our way there. And here's the first bone spire. You can see we apply so much debuffs, so much curses. Kind of crazy, but we don't actually apply a lot of the one stack of debuff. We kind of spread out our debuffs and curses. There's a lot of beetles on this map. But hey, it's so satisfying to take down many groups of little enemies. Problem with Ghost Flame is it uses up a lot of mana. We're constantly low mana. So that is an issue I find with that skill, and I like to find a solution to it. Because I do enjoy using the skill. I find it to be pretty satisfying, apart from the mana issues. Once we beat this bone spire, essentially, yeah, the echo is conquered. We're going to check this idol. It's potion health converted to ward and lightning damage. So we're not going to take it, and we're going to head back to the end of time. Transfer over crafting materials because you don't want to have that in our rewards. We got really nothing good from that one. Now we're deciding whether we go for glyphs and exalted axes, which I'd like to go for because we still haven't got an exalted item yet to drop. But I'm also really considering going for idols because our idol setup is only really for resistances and not too much increasing the power of our build. So we're going to focus the idols here since there's 2 in a row. And hopefully get some good ones. But we'll be checking them out at the end. Awesome, we got a Rune of Ascendance. Checking out that Ring of Life. Wasn't worth it, so we move on. We got these big dudes here. Oh, we got an exalted item. Unfortunately, it is a Primus body armor. It's got a massive amount of armor, as well as a +1 to skill. This is where we're showcasing the Circle of Fortune, the faction that we joined. Enemies have a 35% chance of dropping items twice as much, and a 45% chance for Runes of Ascendance to be preserved when used on an item, and requires at least 1 Circle of Fortune rank 1. We still haven't got any prophecies, so we probably should have done that before we did this. But hey, we'll do the prophecies in the next episode. The main focus of this video is to run through this very first monolith with all of the outcasts. Gotta go and slay the Stygian Warden now. We're gonna make our way there. But there's so many of these tanky dudes that we take out along the way. Kind of just skipping a bunch of them here as we run. As our main objective is to run through the echoes as fast as possible, to be honest, to build up that stability and get the rewards at the same time. I want to take out the rare guys because they do give a decent amount of EXP. That's a lot of big dudes. We got a Stygian Warden in there. We shot him, and awesome. A unique helmet dropped. And we leveled up as well. We're at level 58 now. Make sure to grab the shards, and we're going to check out the Snowblind helmet. Unique. 36% cold res, 91% freeze rate multiplier, 40 armor, 40% chance to chill on hit with cold skills, 40% chance to blind on hit with cold skills, and you cannot be blinded. We're going to check if that's any better than our helmet. It really is, but at the same time, we're already cold risk capped. And we don't do any cold spells. So honestly, it's not really that much better. Our helmet right now is complete garbage. But this helmet is not actually going to give us any bit of a boost. So we're going to make sure to throw it in the chest. Into our unique and set. And then this is where we decided to sell this armor. Because we're not going to be using that. We're going to get all of these idols here. And we're going to have a look at them towards the end. But we're not going to go through them as of right now. Because I'd rather go through all the loot at the very end. To showcase all the items we got from doing the monoliths. Or this specific monolith. Onwards we go. We're building up this stability. As you can see, we've already reached that stability. Second one is 160 stability, and the final one is 240. Right now we're at 99 stability. Oh, and also, you want to move towards the outskirts. Further reaching because it gives us more stability as you would doing the echoes close to the center. So you want to keep moving towards the outskirts. As far out as possible. But hey, let's go ahead and jump in towards the idol here. The idol echo, and continue on. This echo for now. We got to slay the flame guard Sula here. An instant boss of the area. And this was probably the fastest echo of all time. Because we conquered it that quick. That was really awesome to be doing this one. And we head back straight away. Get instant reward. Instant stability. Went to the chest for no reason, to be honest. Just had to transfer over crafting materials. Again, we're going to pick up all the idols and throw them into the chest.
Impossible.
Check the reward chest. I really should be checking all these rare items, but it would make the video here way too long to look through them all. This is where we're deciding now, where we're making our way to the XP, so we took the key option here. Key we can use for later on. For doing other endgame content. We're going to make our way to locating Admiral Harton. When this Exalted 1 drop, and we might be able to make that work, but we're going to pick it up and hold on to it for now. Cinder Song we kind of like at the moment because it gives us +1 to our main skills, as well as increasing all the fire damage that we do. Now that we slayed all the enemies, we're making our way to where Admiral Harton is. Harton. I always put an L in there for some reason. Also forgot to mention, the echoes have active modifiers such as rare enemies, regenerate life, they also shred armor on hits, well 35% chance, but also gives us increased rarity of items as well as increased experience. Which, to be honest, is pretty awesome. But can become quite dangerous at times. I do enjoy just throwing out CHTHONIC FISSURE and then using ghost flames to take out enemies here. As you can see, we're getting a damned overload down in the bottom left over our potions there. And also getting the ignite overload. And we shred Admiral Harton here. Waiting for the loot to drop and just grabbing the shards. And then we're going to head back. We got a bunch of stability on this map. 29 out of 32. We're going to transfer our crafting materials. Then we're going to add our wand into our Warlock stash tab. We don't actually have a weapon stash tab, so we're going to have to put it in the helmet section for now. We managed to get an arena key from the reward here, and we can use that later on. But as for right now, we're not going to be using it. So we're going to throw it into the Monolith stash tab here. We're going to do a passive point. We're going to put it into Dustbringer here. To continue getting spell damage per curse on the enemy. As I said, we're going towards XP, so we're going to keep heading towards XP. Picking up as much as possible to see how much we level up from doing this monolith itself. We gotta slay enemies, locate Spy Master Zarek, and then we gotta slay Spy Master Zarek. So we're just making our way to finding big groups of enemies, trying to take them out. We're also taking out rare enemies too. Like I just respawned, and then our CHTHONIC FISSURE that we placed down earlier just took them out. We find Spy Master Zarek. And we got a ton of enemies around him too at the same time. We're going to try to take him out. But we shut down all of the enemies pretty quickly. And then, it's like that, we take out Spy Master Zarek. We conquered the Echo. We head back and go to collect our reward, which is basically just XP. Here we're just showcasing our resistances. As you can see right now, our void and our fire resistance and our physical resistance is not fully capped. Void and fire resistance being the worst. I'm going to pick up the experience here, open up the chest, transfer over our materials, and we're just going to move on just like that. We're going to head towards the glyphs now, because I'd also like to start stacking up crafting materials, because crafting is so important here to boosting our character's potential and power. You can go from adding up or increasing the tiers of an item to making that we have max reses on everything, as well as increasing our fire or necrotic damage or spell damage, or even +1 to some skills. Okay, we got to take on Admiral Harton again. We should have no problem taking him on here. We do have pretty nice ward generation. It could be better, but at the same time, it's somewhat decent. We also have some life sustain with Chaos Bolts, casting Rip Blood at the same time. We're getting a decent amount of experience gained on this map. Not too bad, it's only 14% increased experience. So we could also focus stability or echoes that focus on increased experience gain. And once again, we shredded Admiral Harton. Getting a lot of bonus stability from this one itself. Also, picking up these glyphs and adding them to our Monolith reward tab here. Open up the chests, grab the shards and glyphs. Mainly focusing that and having a quick look. Silver ring. It has LE damage as well as minion damage and 2 resistances. But not what we want. So our options now, we're almost at the full stability. So we only got to do one more. So we already did a glyph echo, so we decided to go for glyph rewards again. We're going to do our passive. Putting in a 5th point into Dustbringer here, wanting to get this all the way up to 6. To max out that passive point. Essentially, the rewards that we have been another exalted item dropped. It is a helmet with minion health regen, cold armor, and cold res. Not great for us, since we have no minions. But yeah, essentially, the item rewards that we I've been going for have been not actual items like helmets, weapons, gloves, boots, etc. But mainly focusing on crafting materials, XP, and idols. Stuff that can boost our builds without having the RNG of an item dropping as much. Well, you still have the RNG with idols dropping, because you still have the, you can't craft on them, so that's actually even more. But yeah, that's Echo done here, and we are going to make our way back. Once we go back, get this reward, we are going to continue on and do the missions you get from getting this ability. But again, we're going to transfer over crafting materials, and we're going to put our helmet in our stash tab for now. Grab these glyphs. And yeah, we spent a lot of time running back and forth between chests. Make sure to grab the rewards for this chest too. And then, since we reached this ability, we're going to begin the quests here. So we're doing the ransack camp. What you have to do for this one is we have to investigate the destroyed Outcast camp. So basically we're going to have to run to the mark on the map. We're basically taking on enemies here as we make our way. And awesome, a unique dropped, and it is a belt. Unfortunately, we have a good set item for our belt that I'd like to keep using because it gives us a lot of armor. But we've got the Torn Stringer here, +1 physical spells, 24% chance to bleed on hit, increased movement speed, increased thrown attack speed, as well as 30 damage reflected. Would actually be awesome if we were doing the bleed version of the Warlock, because it would change all our skills to physical, giving a +1 skills to all our spells there, but at the same time it's not enough for us to move in that direction. I want to keep holding on to Isidora's set here. I also got to remember that this Echo has modifiers of high speed and crit chance. Awesome, another exalt. Exalted items are dropping like crazy now. This one has strength as its tier 7, because exalted items drop with a tier 7 affix. Which is what is different between rare and exalted items. We've seen a ring, we're going to check it out. Had increased void damage as well as necrotic damage and physical resistance. So we're going to grab it and hold on to it for now. Gotta make sure not to include that in the Echo rewards. We defeated the Necromancer's power in the barricade. So now we have to make our way all the way back to the barricade to continue on the quest for this one. Going to continue on. Once we reach the barricade, we now have to defeat the Imperial reinforcements. We just got to take out all the enemies to open up the barricade. And awesome, just like that. Took them out, and now we got to look for signs for the missing outcast. Going to grab that shrine. Came across the bones of the outcasts, so we have to take this out. Once we take this out, that should be the Echo conquered. We're doing our ultimate spinny move to take out the enemies there. As you can see, it's highly effective. Not really, but it's fun to do. Back to the Echo of the world. With doing quests, you don't get an Echo reward, which is kind of sad. We're going to put our stuff away in these stash tabs. As you can see, it's becoming a chest monster. We're going to add in the unique there. We're going to check this reward. And this is crazy. 0 items come out of his chest. Literally 0 items. We began the second quest. Majelka Streets. In this one, we have to go to where the outcasts are fighting. So as we always do, make our way there, taking out all the enemies along the way. Again, the active modifiers are rare enemies have high speed and crit chance until approached. And awesome, we level up to 60 here, giving us the minimal skill level of 8 when we respec out a skill. It's always nice to improve the minimum skill level, especially when you're trying out brand new skills and different types of builds on your character. We finished that quest, so now we had to advance to the upper square here, and keep pushing forward. We now have to take the upper square and defend it, while the survivors flee. So we're looking to take out as much enemies as we can. That dude resisted a lot of necrotic damage, but we still shredded him because we are doing fire damage as well. That's the kind of nice thing about a dual debuff build so far anyway. If one of the ailments that we apply is resistant, the other one will deal the damage. Obviously, if none of the ailments that we do is resisted, we deal significantly more damage. Now after completing that quest, we have to go and defeat the Imperial Commander. So we make our way there. Quest complete. An exalted item dropped, but to be honest, this one was kind of garbage for us anyway. Read the quest, so we're going to head back to the Echo of the World again and throw our pint in to Duskbringer here to finish it off. Go open chest, and again, 0 items. Once again, no items. We check the loot filter, and yeah, we don't even have a loot filter on, so nothing dropped. The Altar of Flesh. In this timeline, the Immortal Empire secures a decisive victory over the living outcasts to quell the rebellion. Their bodies are going to be used to create an abomination for further research into mortality, and rescue the captured outcasts before it's too late. Let's go ahead and begin. This is the boss of the Monolith. We'll be facing him here now. Let's see how we get on here. Of course, the boss of this map is going to be Abomination, which we faced before throughout the campaign. At the beginning of the fight, I forgot that we have to go and destroy the soul vessels before we can actually deal damage to them. So you gotta go and take out the 4 soul vessels. But you gotta be careful, once you take one out, it leaves an area of effect on the ground around the outskirts of the central thing. But our build is, we apply loads of debuffs, or loads of damage over time basically. So we can run away before the area of effect comes into play. As you can see, we run away and then the soul vessel dies. Make our way to the other one here. A lot of our damage is directed at the Abomination because of the targeting of it. You see in the outskirts, that's where the area of effect is. Now we go there, we take a lot of necrotic damage. Our damage isn't too bad. We're already after doing about 30%, 35% damage to the Abomination, so you're also not taking too much damage. As I say that, we lost about 200 HP. But at the same time, we haven't been struggling for defense here. Damage could always be better, but it's not terrible all the same. Need to fire fire damage because our fire resistance isn't as good. And that's it. We took out the Abomination here. And he dropped a unique Ribbons of Blood. Has 10% increased health, 2% minion melee damage leeches life on hit, and 22% increased leech rate for minions. 5 melee physical damage for minions, and your minions cannot be crit. This unique is a specific unique that can be dropped from a set pool for this boss. We're looking at the other items around before we move back. And we see this, which is not great. It has potential to be good, but it's not good enough to switch out for now. There seems to be voices coming from inside the massive swirling sounds. Alric, the outcast queen. All were captured and harvested to create the Abomination. You freed us from the prison of misshapen flesh. Yet you still cannot die, not bound to the will of the Empire, but still trapped here. Without bodies, there's nothing left for us, but to think and ponder until our spirits fade. The amalgamite souls. There must be some way. Please, there's nothing for us to hear. If we dwell on what's around us, we'll be twisted. Now we got an option here. Tell us, should we reflect on the past? We cannot change or dream of a future we will never see. We got an option here. Should we reflect on the past or dream on the future? We're leaning more towards reflecting on the past here. Don't know why, but we're going to pick it anyway. even if the past led to circumstances. Quest complete. Now we get to choose one of our blessings here. We got an awesome one, Gold Drop Rate. We got Adorned Idle Drop Rate and Grand Idle Drop Rate. But we're going to more than likely go for Gold Drop Rate, as this one I think is much better for us right now rather than the other Idle Drop Rates. But unfortunately we got the lowest low roll of Gold Drop Rates, which is super unfortunate. This is mid-range and also on the lower end. We're going to take Gold Drop Rate, as this will allow us to build up gold to buy more tabs for us. We're going to lock it in and confirm the selection here, and we conquered this monolith. We got the blessing, we finished it. Thank you. Now leave this place, return to the past of your own. Goodbye. And that's the monolith finished here. Let's head back. Quest completed, and we got the rewards. Now we got a choice here. We can go to the Black Sun timeline or go to the Stolen Lands timeline. That direction is towards the Black Sun, and this direction is towards the Stolen Lands here. But on the next episode, we're going to make the choice between going to the Stolen Lands or the Black Sun. You're going to have to keep an eye out for that episode to see which direction we take next. But anyway, we're going to have to move back to the end of time here to go through all the rewards that we got from the monolith here. So we're just going to sort out our inventory before we go through what we got so far. We're going to include this unique, as it is essentially the boss item. We're going to add it in here. So, the rewards. Let's go through the rewards that we got here. With a total of 19 idols, 16 glyphs, 1 key, and 1 unique item that dropped from the boss. The idols that we got consisted of 2 ornate idols, 2 grand idols, 2 huge idols, 3 large idols, 3 adorned idols, 3 small idols, 2 stout idols, as well as 2 humble idols. And the glyphs that we got, out of the 16 glyphs that we got 9 glyphs of hope and 7 glyphs of chaos. The key that we got was an arena key, and the unique item we got was the unique ring, Ribbons of Blood, which gives 36% fire res, 38% increased fire damage, 10% increased max life, 2% of minion damage leached as life on hit, 22% minion increased leech rate, and 5 physical damage for minions. And also your minions can't be crit. So those were the rewards that we got from doing the echoes. But now let's talk about the echoes that we did. We did a total of 12 echoes. That's including the 3 missions that we had to do in order to complete the monolith. We ended up doing 3 experience echoes, which gained us 4 levels from 56 all the way up to 60 by the end of the monolith. We also did 3 glyphs, 2 idols, and 1 key echo. And then obviously the 3 mission echoes. But that is the summary of the echoes that we completed here. Mainly focusing on experience, crafted materials, and idols to empower our build, rather than focusing on items. We did have the option for an exalted item, but it was an axe, and our character does not use that weapon. Anyway, this is where we're going to leave the video for now. Stick around for the next episode where we go through either the Black Sun timeline or the Stolen Lands timeline, and we go through the exact steps as we did for this monolith. Anyways, just want to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you keep a lookout for the next one. See you next time.